Here's your wrestling news for July 23rd, 2022, and we're starting today with Vince McMahon, who stepped down as CEO and chair of WWE last month due to the investigations into his alleged behavior. Now, in a truly shocking turn of events, McMahon has confirmed he won't be returning to the role and has announced his retirement from WWE, 40 years after obtaining his father's promotion. In a tweet, McMahon said that at 77 years old, it's time for him to call it a day and thank the WWE Universe for their support over the decades. Shortly after the tweet, Vince released a press statement saying, "As I approach 77 years old, I feel it's time for me to retire as chairman and CEO of WWE. Throughout the years, it's been a privilege to help WWE bring you joy, inspire you, thrill you, surprise you, and always entertain you. I would like to thank my family for mightily contributing to our success, and I would also like to thank all of our past and present superstars and employees for their dedication and passion for our brand. Most importantly, I would like to thank our fans for allowing us into your homes every week and being your choice of entertainment. I hold the deepest appreciation and admiration for our generations of fans all over the world who have liked, currently like, and sometimes even love our form of sports entertainment. Our global audience can take comfort in knowing WWE will continue to entertain you with the same fervor, dedication, and passion as always. I'm extremely confident in the continued success of WWE, and I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives, in particular, both Chairwoman and co-CEO Stephanie McMahon and co-CEO Nick Khan. As the majority shareholder, I will continue to support WWE in any way I can. My personal thanks to our community and business partners, shareholders, and board of directors for their guidance and support through the years. Then, now, forever, together." This decision came as a shock to fans, though PW Insider's Mike Johnson reports that McMahon made the decision about a week or so ago, with one source saying it was around 10 days ago. McMahon's timing of his announcement was very deliberate, as releasing it on Friday afternoon Eastern was only meant to avoid any negative fallout from the media and shareholders. WWE stock closed at $66.22 a share at 4 p.m. Eastern, and McMahon didn't make his announcement until 8 minutes after the trading had ended. Only a very closed circle knew about Vince's decision, and the overwhelming reaction within WWE has been one of shock, especially among those who have worked there the longest, with one source saying, "They never truly believed there would be a day they worked for the company without Vince McMahon at the helm." With McMahon gone from all his duties, Bruce Pritchard and Kevin Dunn were left running last night's SmackDown, with WWE CEO Stephanie McMahon and Triple H also backstage. Wrestling Inc. were able to acquire an internal memo from McMahon to the WWE roster, one of which confirmed its authenticity. The memo reads, "To all WWE superstars, as I approach 77 years old, OMG, am I really that old? I feel it's time for me to retire. I've thoroughly enjoyed my passion, wisdom, and love of the business with you. No longer will you see the smiling, docile, level-headed, calm presence at Gorilla every week. Your dedication to WWE will ensure that our company will continue to grow and prosper. Our organization is nothing without you. You are WWE's only natural resource, chosen to perform in front of a global audience. You are all WWE Global Ambassadors. Carry the WWE flag wherever you go. Wave it high and proud, and bust your ass to be all you can as a person and as a performer. One other thing, I won't be with you, but I'll be watching. Remember to keep your hands up, grab hold, and sell. By the way, SmackDown airs live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Fox. Vince." McMahon hasn't just retired as CEO and chairman of the board, but Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics reports that he is retiring from all roles, including head of creative. A source in WWE confirmed that McMahon is retiring in full, and Fightful adds that there was an all-hands-on-deck meeting shortly after his retirement announcement. The 5 p.m. Eastern meeting was described by sources for PW Insider as a short rah-rah meeting in which Vince was described as indescribable. Looking to the future, it's reported that the new leadership will consist of WWE Chairwoman and CEO Stephanie McMahon, with Nick Khan serving as co-CEO. Triple H is also back in a big way, having resumed the role of Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. In a brief statement on WWE.com, it was confirmed that the Game has returned to the role he last held in 2020, and the statement gave no sign that this was a temporary role. That's certainly bad news for John Laurinaitis, who remains on administrative leave following reports that he aided with Vince McMahon's allegedly inappropriate behavior with female employees. In a statement to WWE.com, Triple H spoke about the role, saying, "I look forward to returning to my prior position as head of talent relations. I'm healthy, fired up, and ready to take charge." He would later add on Twitter that he's proud and honored to work with the best talent in the world. The reaction to the news was largely favorable among WWE fans on Twitter. Triple H is seen as the architect of the old black and gold version of NXT, which was nearly universally loved. Many are hoping that with Paul Levesque in charge of talent again, the company will see some type of shakeup. For decades, it was believed that Vince McMahon would only leave his post when he died, but now, the 77-year-old former chairman can look forward to years of retirement after this monumental decision. During his tenure, McMahon was known to micromanage things and wanted everything to his exact liking, but that had slipped in the weeks prior to his retirement. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that both Vince and Kevin Dunn, the EVP of TV production, were absent from last week's SmackDown in Orlando, Florida, which would become the final SmackDown of the Vince McMahon era. It's worth noting that this same day, John Cena was marrying his wife, Shea Sheriatsuda, for the second time, and it's plausible that at least McMahon was invited to be at the ceremony. With that said, it's still incredibly rare for McMahon to miss any tapings, and we know he was in Florida earlier this week, as Ric Flair told Busted Open Radio that he had seen McMahon in Tampa for Raw, and personally thanked McMahon for putting him back in WWE's opening package. Whatever the reason, neither McMahon nor Dunn made it to last week's SmackDown, something that those within WWE will have to get used to now. This is unquestionably the biggest news story of the year and perhaps the decade, so it should come as no surprise that AEW's Tony Khan has addressed it. Khan and his company have never shied away from taking shots at WWE, and news of McMahon's retirement has proven to be no different. On Twitter, Khan gloated about being the longest tenured CEO in pro wrestling and promoted the latest AEW Rampage. We are sure the AEW roster will have plenty to say about McMahon's decision during next week's TV, as the impact that the now former WWE CEO has had in pro wrestling cannot be denied. As for WWE, Chairwoman Stephanie McMahon opened up last night's SmackDown Live from Boston's TD Garden and said that Vince didn't just want to thank the fans, but thanked everyone in the company. From those in the back, the ring, the rigging and graphics teams, and even Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on commentary, everyone got thanks from McMahon, and Stephanie led the crowd in another "Thank You Vince" chant. When Wrestling Inc. reached out to talent, there was mass confusion at SmackDown, as the announcement came mere hours before the show went live. Not only that, but WWE is mere days away from SummerSlam, WWE's second biggest show of the year, and there's no word on what McMahon's retirement will mean for creative plans heading into the week leading up to the premium live event. McMahon's fall from grace began in June when news broke that the WWE's board of directors had begun an investigation into him, looking at allegations of a series of non-disclosure agreements between McMahon and former female employees. Vince is alleged to have paid over $12 million over 16 years, and it was recently stated by the reporters at the Wall Street Journal that these allegations aren't over yet. Major media outlets have been following up on this investigation, but that didn't stop McMahon from continuing to appear on WWE TV. Mere hours before stepping down as CEO, Vince appeared on SmackDown to welcome the fans and recite the company's motto, and would appear on the June 27th Raw to introduce John Cena on his 20th anniversary celebration. During this week's Raw, WWE Global Ambassador Titus O'Neil opened the show, speaking about WWE being a safe haven, a bizarre opening many believe was to try and help the company's public image. The investigations into McMahon aren't the only investigations, as several law firms are scrutinizing WWE's board to see if their handling of the situation has put them in violation of securities law and their duties to shareholders. It seems like many heads could still roll, but for Vince McMahon, the sun has long last set on his tenure working for WWE. This week's SmackDown took place mere hours after Vince McMahon announced that he was retiring from WWE, which had a major effect on the show. After McMahon's announcement, Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer tweeted that Brock Lesnar had walked out of the show, stating, "From several sources, Brock Lesnar has left SmackDown." He later added, "Brock's line was some derivative of, 'If he's gone, I'm gone.'" Fightful Select later confirmed that Lesnar had indeed walked out of the show, saying the former world champion was very pissed off after learning of McMahon's decision. Lesnar had been scheduled to appear to promote his upcoming Last Man Standing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam on July 30th. Brock's relationship with McMahon has been complicated, as he's said in the past that he and Vince have shared a love-hate relationship over the past 20 years, but that he views McMahon as a father figure. WWE quickly pulled Brock from all advertising for the show, and the company quickly went to work on organizing a possible replacement for SummerSlam. Brian Alvarez reported that while WWE were trying to coax the Beast back to the show, that the promotion did have someone waiting in the wings if they couldn't bring him back. A source close to Cultaholic said that if Lesnar didn't return, then they'd make the move to bring Goldberg back and have the WWE Hall of Famer face Reigns at SummerSlam instead. After a night of speculation on his whereabouts and future in WWE, SmackDown ended in spectacular fashion when Lesnar returned to close out the show. The main event of Friday's SmackDown saw the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions The Usos and Theory team up to face the Street Profits and Madcap Moss, which the faces won by DQ thanks to Theory attacking Moss with a Money in the Bank briefcase. Theory's post-match attack was ended only when Lesnar's music played and the Beast planted the cocky superstar with an F5. Given the reports about his walkout, seeing Lesnar on SmackDown was a shock to everyone, even those working backstage. All appears to be on track for Lesnar to challenge undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns in a Last Man Standing title match at SummerSlam, but after walking out of the show, a decision which has effectively ended the WWE careers of Sasha Banks and Naomi, we'll have to see who stands tall at next week's premium live event. And we're ending with another missing, as Max Dupree was not at last night's SmackDown. Despite being advertised, Dupree did not appear on the show, which saw the debut of his sister, Maxine Dupree. Appearing alongside Mason Mansoor, Maxine said that she will be hosting a special reveal next week, showing off the Maximum Male Models 2022 beachwear collection. As for Max, there's no word on what kept him from the show, and as the faction grows, their leader was nowhere to be seen this week. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.